So I'm hearing that the power that you get from minding your business is something that only you can cultivate. So then, once you learn to focus on yourself, nobody can steal that from you, because as long as they're trying to see what you're doing, they're not focusing on themselves, right? Ooh. So focus on yourself. All right, and look at this here. It almost looks like the same photo. It looks like the same art, almost. Yeah, you don't have to worry about what's going on around you. It's all the same. Once you understand just a little bit, you understand it all. This is Pinturicchio. Oh, it's the same artist. Look at Pinturicchio. The Dispute of St. Catherine, and this one is called Music. Um, Anything that stands out here is the papal courts. Personified music is a beautiful blonde woman. The wide painting is divided into two halves. Okay, so we have a musician here. We have a child kneeling with a book. So this may have to do with you learning to read music or learning to read some other form of art, maybe. And the apostles and brethren that were in Judea heard that the Gentiles had also received the word of God. Okay, so I feel like it's important to call out that someone is over or eavesdropping on something you're doing. Maybe you are learning music, and the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. That's words from Christ. So, and you remember that the poor are the ones they're the ones nobody cares about. They can't pay for anything. Everything has to come to them for free. So it's a burden on society. Truly, and honestly. So I feel like the only way the poor are made to be part of the economy is by using them as livestock. So right now is attention, and that's what's being used. It's just like back in the day, if this was to translate, it would be a bunch of people riding bikes or doing something to generate electricity. You're being used. Your attention is being used like labor. So I feel like whatever you're doing, if it's music, you having the ability to focus on your music, your attention span is what's feeding the people around you. The fact that you can concentrate, the fact that you're not distracted. And so they just feed off of you. You are poor of spirit. I don't feel like I'm talking to someone who's necessarily financially unstable, but what you're doing, what you chose to do to focus on your art. Seven of Swords. Other people are using your thoughts to live. They're surviving off of your thoughts. You may already notice. You may feel like every time you start to do something, the whole community just kind of settles down and listens and waits to see. And it seems kind of ridiculous. But if you run from the truth, you'll just be exposed to the reality that you're running away from. Five of Cups. Yeah, this is the guy who's sad, bent over. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. And then we have, do not be afraid, for I have ransomed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. So I feel like the more you run, it's basically like you're hopping up on a treadmill. And the people who were using you because you could focus on your skill and your talent, your craft, are now using you because you can work out. Is no matter what you do, as long as you are who you are, which you have no choice but to be, people are going to use you. And I feel like that's the realization that you're going to come across if you do start to try and run from this. So these scriptures are reminding you that, don't be afraid. Christ has already paid the price for your soul. It's not about you selling your soul or anything like that. and that any plans that you make are going to fall apart because you belong to him. Um, and when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? And you just see the attack they're building against him, the argument they're building against him. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. They're trying. They see that you follow Christ and that is giving you strength and protection and healing, and they're trying to set up an argument to separate you from this power, the power of God. What God puts together, no man can take apart. So they are wasting their time. And the reason why is because when you try to do things on your own, you now cultivate this energy of, yeah, I'm a human, I struggle, blah, blah, blah. And anybody can copy that. Anybody can sync up to just a regular human being trying to do something, struggling, failing. It's very relatable. There's a lot of people who try to do something and fail. Most people probably. So when you do things like that, you just keep failing. It's like, oh, that could be me. So this is how they're syncing up to you, by pretending that you're them. But once you call on God, now it's like, no, it's not you, it's me. I'm the one that's praying. I'm the one that's following Christ. And you're the one that's watching me. You're the one that's trying to feed off of my energy. You're the one that's going to hell. Everybody has to have a personal relationship with Christ. So it doesn't work anymore. And that's when they get upset. You have Five of Pentacles, King of Swords. Oh, yeah. That's when they get upset. What's an example? Because entertainment is designed off of this, I'm a human, anybody can relate to me, I struggle, we all struggle type of formula. You could just think of anything where they're trying to set up these celebrities who work hard, have some sort of a talent or a skill, and just make it seem like anybody could be this person. American Idol, all of these talent shows type of America's Next Top Idol, all of these things. Singing shows, cooking shows, even football, sports. You're meant to see yourself in this athlete and pretend that it's you out there on the field throwing the ball, making a shot. But it's not. As a viewer, as the world, you're the one watching. You're the one feeding your energy to your attention span. So these people are put out there to do something interesting to keep you focused. King of Cups, the world. Five of Wands, King of Wands. How do you get yourself out of this cycle? How do you focus on yourself? By calling on Christ. And Christ already called on you. So really it's answering the call. Answering the call to follow him. That's what pulls you out of this cycle. And that's why the minute you start to think for yourself, which is to allow Christ to be the ruler of your life, people get upset.